Hey everyone, and thanks for watching Real Life Survival and Shit Hitting the Fan with Randolph Small. I'm your host, Randolph Small, and in today's video, I will be discussing how to properly defend yourself and loved ones if and when the government was to fall or an enemy nation was to invade and occupy our nation. Now, with all that being said, I'm a Hurricane Irma victim survivor, so these steps, these guidelines, these principles I'm giving you are good for all types of situations. Well, most of them are. Some of them aren't. Some of them are literally only if there's no law and order where you're at during that situation, period. Like, no matter what, if you call 911, the cops ain't coming. So, some of the stuff I say in my video today may offend you. Please keep that in mind. I'm not saying this to offend you or your ideas. I'm just saying, during the absolute worst case scenario, you guys are going to appreciate what I say. Alright, so with that being said, like I said, I'm a Hurricane Irma victim survivor. I ran out of supplies a while back. I ran out of bug out locations a while back. I wasn't planning on a year to survive because I'm in Florida. Hurricanes are a dime a dozen. Storms are a dime a dozen. Most of the time, we're rebuilt within no time, and we're back to being alive and taking care of ourselves in no time. All right? This time, it took a little longer because stuff got messed up, and I'm just now getting it fixed. So, please keep that in mind as well, that I am currently in a shit hitting the fan situation. All right? So, let's begin with the first thing. And I did write everything down to help me keep track. All right? Bug out locations and plans. Now, bug out locations, you want to make sure you have food there, supplies, backup ways to get those supplies, like water filters, ways to can your own food, a garden, stuff like that, ways to make a garden, stuff like that. Alright, so make sure you have your bug out locations planned appropriately and well supplied for everyone in your group for at least a year. And have plans in multiple locations and multiple plans, all right? Because you never know when a plan might go awry or a location might be compromised. So have plans. That way, if you guys get separated, you can meet up at one location. If that location's no good, you guys go to the next location, and you guys don't get to the same locations together. Once you guys get to a good location based on your plans, you guys will meet up. You guys will survive, all right? Canned foods, I classify MREs, those survival meals, stuff like that as canned foods. Also stuff that doesn't expire is canned foods, like canned vegetables, canned fruits, canned meats, stuff like that. All right. Make sure those are properly stored. I'll be discussing proper storage for stuff like that too. And you also got to know how to do your own canning. So remember that, and cure your own meats and properly store them. Remember that, all right, guys? Now, water supply. I've heard anywhere from 1 gallon of water per day per person in your party to 3 gallons of water per person per day in your party. Now, I personally do 1 gallon per person per day in my party because normally I'm prepared with like extra water filters. I'm typically have a bug out location near a fresh water supply. I have empty bottles that water filters can go on, stuff like that. So I typically have that taken care of. So, that's normally good. Just do what you feel comfortable. Do your own research on the water supply and go with what you feel is the best decision. Now, weapons. What I'm about to say here on weapons might upset a lot of people. But I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to get anyone to report my channel or nothing like that. I'm just saying this is one of those that if no law and order exists, the world is over as we know it. This one, you guys are going to appreciate what I have to say at that point in time. And that is, I don't care if you're a felon or not. Your bug out locations need to have weapons. Alright, guns, ammo, stuff like that. Alright. Now, I know felons have a hard time getting stuff like that. I know that. But they have friends who aren't felons and are willing to share the same bug out location. have their friends who are felons by the guns and stock the. You guys go in money wise, but only the one that's not felon buys the guns and ammo, and puts in your bug out locations. That way, you guys are safe when you call 911 and cops ain't coming. All right. Because remember, this number 4 weapons is literally for last case scenarios, end of the world, no one's calling, call 911 type stuff. Alright? So you gotta keep that in mind. Alright? I'm just being real. Like, there's gonna come a time where we're not gonna care who has what charges prior to the events that are going on. At that point in time, honestly, no one's gonna care. So you gotta prepare yourself for that too. Alright? Now, number 5, gardens. Gardens are good to have in general. You gotta make sure you have enough space for your fruits, vegetables, stuff like that that's gonna grow. It's good to grow fruits and vegetables, rotate crops, have an area for stuff like corn and wheat and stuff like that. And, constantly fertilize that, replace the nitrogen and nutrients in that area. Stuff like that. You always gotta make sure you're doing that. And you gotta go with the seasons, okay? And make sure you monitor harvest, monitor for infestations, all that stuff. Okay, guys? That's important. Bathing. If you are able to get a freshwater source nearby, have your bathing area downstream of your fishing spot and your water spot. Have your fishing spot downstream of your water gathering spot. Okay? Just so that way you don't pollute the environment, your different spots. Okay? You gotta remember that. Make sure you don't pollute different areas. And constantly move your fishing spot. That way you can let certain areas repopulate. With that being stated, your water supply area always above everything else. Your fishing spot area below your water supply area. Your bathing area below your fishing area. And constantly move your fishing area. Alright? Constantly do that. Remember that. Water, fishing, bathing, water, fishing, bathing, and laundry can be classified as bathing, but you might want to do those in 2 separate locations. Alright, so water, fishing, bathing, laundry spots. In that order. Water on top, upstream, fishing, downstream, laundry, downstream, bathing, downstream. Constantly move your fishing, laundry, and bathing spots, but always keep them downstream of your water supply. Alright, now isolation. You do want to be isolated for your bug out location. Now, no matter what the situation is, your bug out location, you want to be isolated because of looters, period. Alright? And if we are in the worst case scenario, our government has fallen or we're under enemy invasion, you're going to want to make it as hard for the enemy and anyone else that's out there to harm you to get to you. Now, keep in mind, that brings me to accessibility. You want to be able to access it easily. This means you got to learn the terrain. Alright? Now, defensive planning is weapons, what type of weapons you're going to have, what everyone's station is on the property for lookouts and stuff like that. And when someone sees somebody that shouldn't be showing up at your bug out location showing up, you want to make sure that's done. You also want to try to have some booby traps along the way scattered throughout the property. Now, meat and protein supply, you got to know how to hunt. And you got to know how to fish. Alright, that's a given. You got to know how to smoke your meat, cure it, stuff like that. Okay, guys? Learn how to do that. Now, like I said, you got to know how to properly store your meat, smoke it, and cure it, and age it. Alright? You guys got to learn how to do that by watching videos on YouTube. Because there's experts out there. You can also read books all about it and stuff like that. Learn how to do it, okay, guys? That will save your life. Even if you don't eat meat, it's still good to have, because what happens if you can't get hold of a protein like vegetable at that point in time, because you'll lose that crop. because you still have seeds and you gotta restart the crop. Think about that. Now, you want to know that you can properly store your canned goods, which means you need a root cellar. Or you need to make an above ground root cellar or something like that. Alright? You want to have a place that's properly insulated and cooled for your canned foods. Okay, guys? Do that. Learn how to do it. Me, I just build a shed and insulate it and cover it in dirt with grass. With sod. That's what I do. And you gotta know how to properly make your canned goods. I know how to can my own foods. I know how to smoke my own meats. I'm not all that good at curing and aging, but I'm still learning, and I basically know how to store my own meats without having a freezer and stuff like that by doing an underground root cellar type thing. I know how to do that. It's not that hard. You just gotta know how to properly seal the bags and stuff that you put the meat in. Alright? Now, keeping in mind that these steps can help you out in all bug out situations, and by effectively applying these steps into your planning, you may survive the worst case scenarios. Alright, guys? And thanks for watching Real Life Survival and Shit Hitting the Fan with Randolph Small. If you like what you heard and what you've seen, just hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment down there. I'm sorry for the Facebook notification. I meant to silence that, but I forgot to. Next time it will be silenced, but enjoy the video and subscribe to the page.